The quote of Confucius is as following: every man has two lives, and the second one begins when he realizes he only has one. The same guy who I thought was quite ripped at some point looked at me with the same look that I looked at him. That's when it struck me. Sometimes when you're in the gym, maybe some people recognize this, some people don't. You see someone and you think, wow, that guy's ripped, that guy's doing good. Then, of course, next to that comes a feeling of insecurity. Like, oh wait, but I don't look like that. Okay, today we're gonna dive into a realization, a behavior, and a lesson. I'm your Baltes, host of Digital Nomad podcasts, where I recorded over 24 podcasts with all kinds of entrepreneurs I met during my travels as a homeless person with a laptop and Wi-Fi, while building my remote business with my business partner on AI integrations for expert founders and creating agents, workflows, and all of that. I've been traveling for the past 1.5 years while making an income as a copywriter and being a sales and marketing consultant for 1.5 years. Generated over 600,000 euros in revenue for all the clients that I worked with each other, and had over 5,000 sales conversations and closed over 550 deals. So that's who I am. But in the end, I am a young remote entrepreneur who has no clue what he's actually doing and just documenting this whole journey. Normally, I could have some guests here, the like fellow entrepreneurs I meet during travels, but I did not meet that many interesting entrepreneurs yet, and I want to keep some kind of standard to this podcast. So, yeah, that's why I did not have any guests lately. Now, let's dive into the realization, behavior, and lesson. Sometimes you see me look that way because I have my laptop there with some notes, so this is not totally random. So I was in the gym. Right now I am in Thailand, in Koh Phangan, a really nice, peaceful island. So far I did not see that much of a community here, but that's fine. And I was in the gym. I was in Evolve, nice gym, fighters gym, and also just a normal gym. And I've been going to the gym now for quite a while, and everyone walks around shirtless. It's an open gym where everyone walks around shirtless because it's Thailand and it's smoking hot here. And of course, like since I've been going to the gym for a while now and washing my foot for a while now, I can proudly say that I look decently trained. But there were other guys there who were also decently trained. And sometimes when you're in the gym, maybe some people recognize this, some people don't. You see someone and you think, wow, that guy's ripped, that guy's doing good. And then, of course, next to that comes a feeling of insecurity. Like, oh, wait, but I don't look like that. And I had that. Like, there was a guy, ripped, lean, and I was like, "Ah, nice. He's doing a good job. Maybe I'm not as bulky as I thought." And the same, and it's a certain type of look that you have when you look at someone like that. And it sounds really gay if I tell this, but it's not. Um, it's just normal behavior of comparing each other with each other. And the same guy who I thought was quite ripped, at some point looked at me with the same look that I looked at him. And that's when it struck me. Like, it's a really interesting thought that I probably felt insecure for a second because that guy looked better than me. I did. And then I had the same effect on him. And I think in my head, or this is my ego talking, that's also fine. The point that I want to make here is that it's never enough. Like, people have never enough. And that's the realization that I had when I was in the gym. People have never enough. Even though you look good, even though you look ripped, even though others look ripped, like it's never, you will always compare yourself. And in a way, I think that's quite stupid. But that realization also taught me something else, that within this whole entrepreneurial journey, it always comes with ups and downs. And those ups and downs also come in the gym. So at some point you will be in the gym and you look at yourself in the mirror like, oh, I'm buff, I'm pumped, I'm ripped. And another point you look in the same mirror, same gym, maybe 1 or 2 days later, you're like, maybe I have some belly fat, or I feel some kind of insecurity about my body, or anything like that. And those same ups and downs and those same comparisons you have, or at least I have, in entrepreneurship. And that was a interesting realization, and it taught me of a quote of Confucius, a Chinese philosopher, really interesting guy. And the quote of Confucius is as following: every man has two lives, and the second one begins when he realizes he only has one. What this quote has to do with this entire story is that through all the ups and downs, it's still life, and just accept what's happening at the current moment and how you feel at the current moment, because you're human. You have that one life and you are allowed to enjoy that. So, yeah, that's your life. You don't need to be waiting for someone else's approval. And that was the realization I got from the gym. And a behavior that struck me in the past couple of weeks really came with opportunity cost. So I'm building my business route right now with my business partner Fabio. And besides that, I still do some work as a copywriter, like an ad copywriter, and that brings in some cash flow. It's nice. I like doing it. It's fun. And like, if the business is going a bit slower, I have a safety net to fall back on. And it gives me a bit more mental clarity. And now also another opportunity came along to speak at a conference, and I did not decide yet if I'm gonna do it or not. And that would give me access to really nice network, like a really, really nice network. But the payment is shit. The partner I would do that for would be also a really good relation to have. But the payment is shit. So then the opportunity cost will come, like, okay, do I spend my time on that for a shitty payment, and do I see it as a learning opportunity, or do I want to see it as an earning opportunity? And where am I in my journey at the current moment? Because you can seize as many opportunities as you want, but they always come at a cost. And from what I've experienced so far, from having multiple opportunities come my way and seizing almost all of them so far, is that sometimes you're just really spread thin, and it brings you less focus. But then again, it comes to making a decision, and the decision making process that I'm going through right now, and I'm thinking of just doing that thing and go to that conference and nail it and speak to possible investors for that company and like lure people in and enjoy that I had that opportunity that came my way. The decision making framework that I use is, what's the worst thing that can happen? Do I have the time, or can I create the time? Yes. Do I become maybe a bit more stressed because I have less time to do other stuff? Yes. Is that wrong? Not necessarily. Is it good for my personal brand to be a speaker there and be exposed to that crowd? Yes. So would it be a smart decision then in my current situation? Probably. But that's the thing, you don't know. But in the end, you have to decide. And that's something I'm currently going through as well, because especially in the AI space where I'm in right now, there's so much opportunity that it's sometimes a bit overwhelming to pick and choose. But in the end, you just need to pick, choose, make a decision, and go. Because, and I'm not saying this to be, oh, this is what you should do. I'm necessarily saying this to myself, actually, in the position that I'm right now, to go further and see what it brings. Because good or bad will only be judged by the outcome that it will provide you. And you are most often in control of the outcome. And then again, what's the worst thing that can happen? So that's a behavior, I would say, that's really interesting, and that's keeping me busy at the moment. That's decision making. How do you make decisions? How do you see what's signal and what's noise? So signal is the things that bring you closer to your goals, and noise is everything that's not that. in the next 18 hours, for example. So, what's signal, what's noise? How can you make impactful decisions? How can you make more decisions faster? Because the rate of you making decisions in a fast way and making good decisions is really important, because not making a decision is also a decision, but it's just a decision to postpone a certain outcome, and then it's an open loop in your head. So, as far as I know, and as far as I spoke to a lot of entrepreneurs so far, and in my own career so far, it's good to make quick decisions, act on it, and see what it does. Yeah, that's the behavior for now that's keeping me busy. And the lesson I had was with my business partner and a mentor of ours that we have right now, someone I met through the podcast, really interesting lady with lots and lots of experience. And in that call, we realized one thing, and that's when you are building a company, especially a startup like we are doing right now, you need to be bamboo tough. You don't need to be as stubborn as concrete. You need to be bamboo tough. What that means is you need to stick to your will. You need to stick to the plan, but you need to be flexible enough to readjust the plan. And within that call, we were talking about our target audience for the company, and that we lack some kind of clarity and some kind of steps that we need to take at the current moment to grow even further and sell our systems to. So, sales optimization systems, research systems, really interesting stuff. And then again, it comes to focusing down on what's most important. It's signal versus noise. Adjust where it's needed. So, okay, right now we're focusing on the wrong target customer, and that's why our targeting is wrong. Okay, so adjust and then show up, do the work. And that's bamboo toughness. Like, okay, the product is the same. We're not going to change the entire product, but we need to focus on what's important and who will give us the most bangs for our buck there. Adjust on what we're doing and then show up to actually do the thing to the target audience and the people we actually need to target. And a big lesson she gave us there is, who are you selling to and who are you selling through? So for us, it's most often startups that we want to sell to, or sales agencies that we want to sell to, and we can sell through B2B consultants and executives. So, with a partnership that we're working on, we were planning to sell to them, but it's better to sell through them, through the executive and B2B consultants, because they have the network that would tap into our target audience, and then they would get a commission or something like that for it. But first, we would still be in power to deliver. So that's the biggest lesson, sell to or sell through, in combination with being bamboo tough, to focus, adjust, show up, and make the change in that way. Yeah, that's it. Those are the biggest lessons for me as a nomad entrepreneur, young dude sitting on a couch in Thailand right now. If this was interesting, or if you think this was valuable, let me know. Also, please let me know what type of content you would like to see, because right now I'm recording this. I have a lot of knowledge about sales, a lot of knowledge about marketing, and I think the Digital Nomad podcast series that will be uploaded every Wednesday is more of my business outlet, and series of Sundays where I talk more about the nomadism and how that how you can do that, travel videos, etc. That's a bit more of the lifestyle outlet, I would say. But again, like, please let me know, do you like this? Do I like doing it? Also because it's less work to prepare an entire video. But well, I still prepared this, of course, but you know what I mean. And is this a format, or do you have topics that you want to discuss here? And when I meet people, I will have them on a podcast, of course. But now, that's it. Visionaries, take action. Hope you got some value out of this. And I speak to you later. Ciao.